the guy? Hey, John. That's that Hall?
Yeah. Okay, here's Greg Marshall.
Okay. Oh, that was? Is that right? He tore that car up the other night.
Hey, Mike, move your big biceps out of the way. Yeah.
When's the last time we spoke this thing up?
Late models, you got about 25 minutes, gentlemen, for your first highlight section. We'll go for about 10 minutes and take a 10-15 minute break and go back at it. The scales is open to go across them now if you want.
I am.
Yeah, she's going to stay here with Scott.
Okay.
Yeah, but he's been for 50. Who's driving this car?
Lonnie coming in? Can we get him before I shut this thing off? Come on, Lonnie. Okay. Hey, it's your turn to get one next, right? Then I'm after you again, right?
On up, Jerry.
Oh,
Good. That's good.
He held down third place for a long time.
I'm gonna hit the John. I'm gonna hit the fade out now. Bob's Tipler. Lonnie Vaughn. Roger Blank.
Rich Roar.
Record. The next guy out, again a Columbus car from Reynoldsburg, Ohio. This is Bobby Edwards. First lap, 15.322. 1:53.22. Edwards holds. 15.181 the second lap. 15.181 for Bobby Edwards. First lap, 15.063. Wes's car sponsored by Speedway Auto. Slower the second time, 15.149. First time for Wilson is quick at 15.063. And that is quick time so far. Up next from Columbus,
In the picture, John.
26, Bill Cantley. 15.304 the first time for Cantley. 15304 sponsors our Cantley Racing Park. Second lap 15257. The best time for Cantley. This driver is from Dayton, Ohio, a regular competitor here at the Speedway this year. 15.079. 15079. That's second quick time. There's quick time, 14.864. He did have quick time on Sunday night. So he turns in another good lap, 14864 for Bussy Duckford. Out now from right here at Columbus, this is car 23, Greg Markham. Jerry Vision Shop and Renner's Towing are sponsors. 15.693 the first lap. 15693. Greg has picked up 2 heat wins in 15.544, so that's his best effort. 1:05:54.
That's a late model? Yeah. I told Cisco it wasn't.
Correction on Markham's time, 15:05:44. Now in car 20. 16609. Mike from Columbus. Normally runs this car in the sportsman division. He's put slicks on it tonight to run as a late model. $16,474, so the second time is the quick one. 16.474 for Mike Brown from Columbus. Another Columbus car, car 1. This is Terry Humphrey. Fast track champion here at the Speedway. 15.369 the first lap. Dick's Trailers and Humphrey's Engine Service, the sponsors. One equal in 1988
Microphone.
Quick on the second lap, 15.214.
Off.
15.214, the time for Humphrey.
15214 on number 1, Terry Humphrey.
Affectionately called the Iceman from Ohio. 15.114 the first lap.
First lap time, 15.114 on Tim Ice, number 65.
Carl's Auto Service, Common Transmission. Has one feature win here at the Speedway. 15.052.
15.052 on the second lap time on 65 Tim Ice.
15052, second quick time for Ice. Now out in car 21, the guy that's been hot on the firecracker here at the Speedway. This is John Vanillo. Sixth feature win for 1988 KIDD. 15086 the first lap.
First lap time on Johnny Vallow, number 21. 15086.
16 features this year at all tracks. Second quick time, 14.911.
Second lap time, 14.911 on number 21, Johnny Vallow.
Driving the car number 4 tonight, winner.
Two lap times on number 1, Terry Humphreys is 15.369, 15.214. Driving number 4 tonight, Jim Kidd.
6-7 the first time.
First lap time, 15767.
Jim, a regular competitor in the sportsman division. This is a late model, normally driven by Bruce's wife. 15760.
15760, second lap time.
15.76. The driver on the racetrack now from Cincinnati, Ohio.
You got a time yet?
Fred Hall. Ready?
Number 2, Bobby Edwards, ran a 15.322 and 15.181. Number 26, Bill Cantley, ran a 15.304, 15.257. Flying Fred Hall, number 9, turned a 15.854, the first lap time.
Quicker, 15.427.
Second lap time on Fred Hall, 15.427.
427.
Back to 33, Wes Wilson. His first lap time was 15.063. Second lap time, 15.149. First lap time on the Big Bird, Robbie Dean, 15.514.
They're trying to get it sorted out. He won this series a year ago. 15300, the second lap.
Second lap time on 15.300.
So the time for Dean in the white Ford Architect Last Special,
Number 23, Greg Markham, qualified at 15.693 and 15.504. Number 5, Mike Stacy, qualified at 15.317 and a 15.081. Number 55, Bussy Blackford, 15.079 and 14.864. On the track right now. Number 35, Bob Sage, turned a 15.531. Sorry, scratch that, 551.
So the first time for
Second lap time, 15.759. And the last qualifier that has not qualified on screen is number 20, Mike Brown, 16.609, 16.474. On the track right now, 03 out of Canton, Ohio, Lonnie Vaughn.
15.755, the first time for Vaughn.
First lap time, 15.755.
Quicker the second lap. 15.697.
Second lap time, 15.697.
Lonnie Vaughn now out at 63. From Canton, Ohio, Bob Sibla. First lap for Sibla, 15.360.
First lap for number 63, Bob Sibla, 15.360.
Identical lap the second time.
Identical lap the second time around, 15.360. You see a flagman?
697 for Sibla, 15.360. Out in car number 41, it'll be scored as tonight. This is Scott Baker.
On the track right now, number 4 will be scored as 41 tonight, Scott Baker.
15.302.
First lap time, 15.302.
Better at Lorain County and Midvale. For Cloverleaf. Good weather second lap, 15.127.
Second lap time, 15.127.
127.
Scott Baker from Akron, Ohio.
Scott Baker driving the pit stop car.
Mrs. Mid-Vid's favorite driver.
Out in car number 83. This is Ed Duncan.
On the track,
15.682.
Hillbilly Duncan. 15682. First lap time on 83, Ed Hillbilly Duncan. 15682.
Second lap for Duncan. 15.385.
Second lap time on Hillbilly Duncan, 15.385.
A Columbus competitor. 1.535 the time.
1, 2, 3, 4 to in qualify.
Sponsors are McDonald's Garage and Bob Rockville.
On the track right now, number 87, John Brown.
17.831 the first lap.
First lap time, 17831.
The second time, 17.374 for John.
Second lap time, 17.374. Is that right?
I got him for first time. What did they say? First time was, what did they say? First time in 831. I got him at 1714.
You messed up.
checking for a name on this 17 car. He is going to take 2 or 3 hot laps as he was a late arrival, and then go back to the pits. He'll be out a little later to qualify.
Number 17 out in the hot lap and no identification.
Arrival, the 17 car. We are checking on a driver's name. Many of these drivers are from out of town.
They got to expose their phone.
We got information on most of them.
Big stuff's off their phone, don't they?
Here's an in-towner. Car 52.
Next qualifier up, number 52, Ron Otto.
Ron Otto Jr. in 52. Runs car sponsored by Fast Racing and Professional Auto Care. First time 15:60, 1:56.00.
First lap time 1:56.00.
There had one he went in 87. Quicker the second time, 15:486.
1:54.86, second lap time, Ron Otto.
Last week. And broke a rougher arm, as we understand it. So he dropped out of the feature while leading last week. Now in car 12, Denny Dean.
52.
16.468. 16468.
First lap time on Denny Dean, 1:64.68.
Series engine shot. Larry Sterling, this guy had 4 E-wins in 87 here at the Speedway. 16.243.
1:62.43, second lap time on Denny Dean.
2:43 the time. Roger past Barberton Speedway track champion.
On the track right now, number 29, Roger Black, Barberton, Ohio.
First time for Roger Black, 15.514.
First lap time, 15.514.
Quicker, 15.243.
Second lap time on Roger Black, 15.243.
Time for Roger Black. Roger from up around Akron, the Akron Canton area. Normally runs at Midvale.
Yeah, how often? In those 3 times.
The Point Fund, or Who's Your Tire, also a sponsor of the Point Fund this year for this series.
On the track right now, number 11, Dick Dunleavy Jr.
One of the years, Sunday night here at the Speedway from New Carlisle, Ohio. This is Dick Dunleavy Jr. 15.11.151.10 first lap. Apollo Propane.
15110 on Dick Dunleavy.
Their sponsors. And he turns in a quick one. It is 8/1000ths of a second off the track record. Here's quick timer, 14.698.
Fastest time of the evening, 14.698.
So a hot lap.
8/1000ths off the track record.
Hot night.
The track record here is 14.690 by Johnny Ballo.
Got no hot laps. I'm not sure if that's true or not.
Yes, he did.
Yeah, just got there. Just got here, and without a hot lap, got to try that more often. Beverages, Miller High Life, are sponsored. First time for Rich Rohr, 15.251.
First lap time on number 7, Rich Rohr, 1.5251.
Quicker the second lap, 15.185.
Second lap time, 15.185 on number 7, Rich Rohr, Canton, Ohio.
In 1974, when this
Steve Taylor.
15.475. So the first
15.475 and 15.373.
15.373.
Steve Taylor.
Oh, God, you use a lot of pleasure that way.
The fastest qualifier goes in the first heat race, second fast in the second heat race, and third in the third heat race. And then you repeat the series throughout all the qualifiers. So we don't have a situation where there are strictly the fastest qualifiers in one heat and the slower qualifiers in another heat. They are staggered and inverted with the fastest qualifier starting on the tail.
Yeah. John, you want to check the collar, see if it's okay? We'll go in. It's always just... I could see that too. That's not wrong. They come out of four, you're sitting up to one.
The fast qualifier at each of these races draws out of a hat to decide the number of
Okay. The first leg of the Ohio State Late Model Championship Series here down at Columbus, Ohio. It's June 15th, 1988. And they're pulling from a pill of 8, 10, or 12 from Dick Dunleavy Jr. We'll pull, see which cars are inverted, either the 8th fastest qualifier, 10th, or 12th. Coming out for the first heat this evening at Columbus Motor Speedway. Back on the pole, number 87 will be John Brown. On the outside of him, number 4, Jim Kidd. Back on the next row back is Greg Markham in 23. And on the outside of him, looks like number...
The Ohio State Late Model Championship Series.
94, Robbie Dean.
John Brown. Car 4, Jim Kidd. Row 2, car 23, Greg Markham.
Okay, they got the lineup changed.
Car 83.
Or the lining up. 87 is going to be John Brown. The outside of him, number 4, Jim Kidd. Next row back, number 23 is Greg Markham. And 83, Ed Hillbilly Duncan. Third row back, number 94, last year's late model champion in the Ohio State late model championship series, number 94. On the outside of him, number 1, Tim.
And finally, your fast qualifier,
Humphrey.
car number 11. His time, 14.
Number 41, Scott Baker. 65, Tim Ice. And your top qualifier tonight, Dick Dunleavy Jr.
Dick, a regular competitor here at the Speedway on Sunday night. Won the feature event this past
Terry Humphreys, I said. So you got John Brown, 87.
10 racing laps.
4, Jim Kidd.
9 competitors.
Greg Markham, 23.
There will be
83, Ed Hillbilly Duncan. 94,
3.
Robbie Dean. Number 1, Terry Humphreys. 41, Scott Baker. 65, Tim Ice. And your top qualifier tonight, Dick Dunleavy Jr. in number 11. Flagman's ready to throw him the green. Out of turn number 4. We got a green. Down to turn number 1 and turn number 2. Number 4, Jim Kidd out in the lead. Ed Hillbilly Duncan in second. Comes Terry Humphreys in the third. Robbie Dean on the inside. Clean lap 1. Jim Kidd, your leader. Terry Humphreys in second. Ed Hillbilly Duncan in third. Robbie Dean fourth. Greg Markham is in fifth. And Tim Ice, Dick Dunleavy Jr., Scott Baker, and John Brown. And Hillbilly Duncan, your leader now. They hit in numbers 1 and 2 turns. And Hillbilly Duncan, Terry Humphreys, Jim Kidd, Robbie Dean in fourth, Tim Ice, Dick Dunleavy Jr., Scott Baker, Greg Markham, and pulling up the rear, John Brown. And Duncan, your leader, but Terry Humphreys challenging for the lead. Halfway, this time by, halfway. Halfway in goes to Ed Hillbilly Duncan. Dick Dunleavy Jr. moving into third past Robbie Dean on the outside. They have Hillbilly Duncan, 83. 1. Terry Humphreys. Then Dunleavy, third. Robbie Dean, fourth. Baker, fifth. Ice, sixth. Two more to go. White flag will be out this time for Ed Hillbilly Duncan at 83. Terry Humphreys in second. Dick Dunleavy Jr. in third. Robbie Dean fourth. Scott Baker fifth. Tim Ice sixth. Greg Markham in seventh. Eighth is Jim Kidd. Turn number 4. Ed Hillbilly Duncan. Terry Humphreys. Dick Dunleavy Jr. Robbie Dean. Scott Baker. Tim Ice. Greg Markham. And Jim Kidd.
Jr. Fourth, car 94, Robbie Dean. And in fifth, 41, Scott Baker.
Ed Hillbilly Duncan, your winner of the first heat race down here at Columbus Motor Speedway, June 15th, 1988.
For Duncan here at the Speedway this year. Guy won 5 heat races in 1987 at the Speedway. Car sponsored by Duncan Auto Sales.
right, Hillbilly Duncan. Well, you're up. Color, how's the color look to you, bud?
Well, I can't see it because your arm's there. Hey, Craig, check the battery after every race. I zoom in and out a lot.
Okay.
The second heat race in the late model division is next.
All right. Cars coming out for the second heat race. On the pole, looks like it's going to be number 20, Mike Brown. On the outside of him, number 03, Lonnie Vaughn. Next row back, number 26, Bill Cantley. 52, Jim Otto.
3, Lonnie Vaughn.
Ron Otto, 52, excuse me.
On the inside, car 52, Ron Otto Jr. And outside in 17, Steve Tabor.
All right, they changed the lineup again. Number 20
Third row, inside 26,
is Mike Brown. On the outside of him, 03, Lonnie Vaughn. Next row back,
Bill King,
Ron Otto, 52. Number 17, Steve Taylor.
Rich Roar.
Next row back looks like going to be number 5, Mike Stacy. And on the outside of him will be number 7, Rich Roar. Next row back will be number 26, Bill Cantley. And on the outside of him, the top qualifier, I believe, out of this bunch, 21, Johnny Vallow. Next lap, they should get the green. So you got Mike Brown, Lonnie Vaughn, Ron Otto, Steve Taylor, Mike Stacy, Rich Roar,
Second heat race is
Bill Cantley, and
Brown and Vaughn,
Johnny Vallow.
Otto and Tabor, Stacy and Roar, Vallow and Cantley.
Lonnie Vaughn taking over the lead in the first lap. The first lap. Rich Roar coming up, challenging for third already.
Rich Roar.
Lonnie Vaughn, Rich Roar, Steve Taylor, Bill Cantley, Johnny Vallow, Mike Brown, Ron Otto, and Mike Stacy. Rich Roar down the inside. We have Rich Roar, Lonnie Vaughn, and Bill Cantley involved in that spin out. I think Richie's got a flat tire on his right-hand side.
Complete, 8 remain.
2 laps in, 8 more to go. A correction on the lineup. And number 17 is not Steve Taylor. It's Steve T-A-B-O-R. Tabor. Tabor, not Steve Taylor. Tabor. That's right. Firing. All right. One more lap, they should be back to racing. Number 17, Steve Tabor. 26, Bill Cantley. 21, Johnny Vallow. Number 20, Mike Brown. 52, Ron Otto. 5, Mike Stacy. And 03, Lonnie Vaughn. All right, the white flag is out. One more parade.
Once again, 2 laps complete. 8 remain.
2 laps in, 8 more to go.
Tabor in 17. Bill Cantley in 26. John Vallow in 21. Mike Brown in 20. 52 is Ron Otto Jr. 5, Mike Stacy. And 03, Lonnie Vaughn.
We got a green. Ron Otto moving on the outside, taking over 4th spot. But your leader is Steve Tabor in 17. 26, Bill Cantley. 21, Johnny Vallow. Bill Cantley had her sideways going into turn 1. He held on to it. Steve Tabor, you're still your leader. Bill Cantley 2nd. Johnny Vallow 3rd. Ron Otto 4th. Mike Stacy 5th. Lonnie Vaughn 6th. And Mike Brown right in the rear. Halfway in that time. 5 in, 5 more to go. Bill Cantley down the inside. Can't quite do it. Steve Tabor, your leader. Johnny Vallow moving on the outside. Johnny Vallow into the lead. Bill Cantley in 2nd. Steve Tabor in 3rd. Ron Otto 4th. Mike Stacy 5th. Lonnie Vaughn 6th. Ron Otto moving on the outside, taking over 3rd. Trying to take over 3rd. White flag coming out this time for Johnny Vallow, 21. Bill Cantley in 2nd. Ron Otto into 3rd. Out of turn number 4, your winner, Johnny Vallow. Bill Cantley, Ron Otto. Steve Tabor and Mike Stacy, Lonnie Vaughn, and bringing in the rear, Mike Brown.
4th place, Steve Tabor. And 5th position, Mike Stacy.
There's your winner of the 2nd heat race tonight at the Columbus Motor Speedway, Johnny Vallow.
Sponsored by Singer Truck Center, W&W Racing, and Dick Taylor. 6 feature wins so far in 1988 for this Miamisburg driver, powered by Joe King. This guy had 14 feature wins here a year ago. Ron gave local sports personality Steve Bennett a ride around the track earlier, in case you weren't out here. And quite a ride, as I understand it.
Johnny Vallow, your 2nd heat winner tonight.
Freddie Hall, and beside him from Canton, Ohio, Bob Sibila. The 3rd row.
All right, line up for the 3rd heat race. Here tonight at Columbus Motor Speedway, 3rd heat race, number 12.
Bobby Edwards.
Denny Dean at number 12. 35
Car 33, Wes
is
Wilson.
Bob Sage. Next row back, number 9 is Fred Hall. On the outside of him, number 63, Bobby Sibla. The next row back is number 29, Roger Black, and number 2, Bob Edwards. And the next row back, number 33, Wes Wilson, and the top qualifier in this bunch for 55, Buzzy Blackbird. So you got Dean, Sage, Hall, Sibla, Black, Edwards, Wilson, and Blackford. One more parade and we should get a green. The flagman's got the white flag in hand. Here we go. Dean and Sage bringing them in. We got a green. Denny Dean in 12. Bob Sage 35. Fred Hall and Bob Sibla. Bob Sage, your leader. Bobby Sibla moving to that second spot. Denny Dean in 12. And Fred Hall, Bob Edwards, Roger Black, Buzzy Blackford, Wes Wilson. Bob Sage still leads. Bobby Sibla in second. Fred Hall moving to third. Fourth, Roger Black. Fifth is Wes Wilson. Sixth, Denny Dean. Seventh, Buzzy Blackford. And bringing in the rear, Bob Edwards and number 2. Halfway this time by, halfway going to Bob Sage. Bobby Sibla moving right in on his rear bumper. Roger Black trying to move in that third spot. Past Fred Hall. Second, Roger Black moves in that third spot. Hall still on the outside in fourth. White flag coming up this time by Sibla, starting to challenge on the outside. Down the backstretch, it's still Sage. Number 35. Coming out of turn number 4, it's going to be Bob Sage, Bob Sibla, Roger Black, Fred Hall, Wes Wilson, Buzzy Blackford, and Denny Dean.
Bob Sibla in third, Roger Black. Fourth, I believe, was Freddie Hall.
Your winner, the third heat tonight at Columbus Motor Speedway during the High State Late Model Championship Series, number 35, Bob Sage.
Car sponsored by Canard, Continuous Gutter and Siding, Dunko's Pizza, Waco Products, Custom Builders, New Creation Painting, and James W. Fox Company. Of course, Bobby, with quite a comeback from injuries earlier in the year, suffered earlier in the year. Second race of the year here, he spun around, hit the wall, banged his head a little bit, but has come back and is running the Canard Siding Special.
Any hometown heroes?
We have a message for Norman Tenney. Norman Tenney, could you report to the Speedway office, the base of the tower? Norman Tenney to the Speedway office, base of the tower. Class 6 series of this series.
TV off, okay?
With one feature win, we have
All right, it's the last chance race here at Columbus Motor Speedway.
Jim Cushman.
First leg of the High State Late Model Championship Series, June 15th, 1988.
Also Terry Henniger.
The series has been revived 3 years ago. 2 years ago. This is the third consecutive year of it.
Have won one.
86 overall winner was Mark Malquit. Last year's winner in 87 was Robbie Dean. And he's sitting on the pole, inside pole, of the last chance race here at Columbus Motor Speedway tonight, trying to make the feature. The Big Bird, I think, qualified 13th overall. They bird the top 12. I believe they are going to invert the top 12, the announcer said earlier. So Robbie Dean will be on the pole.
Once again,
Ed Hillbilly Duncan's out there, Fred Hall, Ron Otto,
13
Greg Markham,
tonight.
Bob Sage, Lonnie Vaughn,
Qualifiers.
Jim Kidd. All right, Robbie Dean's now moving. On the outside of Robbie Dean is Masslin's own Bob Sibla at 63. Let him get straightened out. I believe the next row back will be number 9, Fred Hall. On the outside of him will be number 83, Ed Hillbilly Duncan. Next row back, number 23, Greg Markham. On the outside of him, Ron Otto in 52. Next row back, 03, Lonnie Vaughn. On the outside of him, number 35, Bob Sage. He was a heat winner tonight. Now they'll get straightened, taken care of out there. Other cars out there on the track, number 4, Jim Kidd.
The lineup for the late model last chance race. Car number 94 on the pole, Robbie Dean. Outside of car 63.
Number 12, Denny Dean. 20, Mike Brown. And needing assistance into the infield, number 87, John Brown. Well, now I guess he will not make the consolation event.
Ed Duncan, the third row.
So you got Robbie Dean, Bob Sibla, first row. Second row, 17, Steve Tabor.
Jr. Then comes car 23, Greg Markham.
And 83, Ed Hillbilly Duncan. Next row back, number 9 is Fred Hall and Ron Otto. Next row back, number 23, Greg Markham. On the outside of him, number 35 is Bob Sage. Next row back, 03, Lonnie Vaughn. On the outside of him will be number 4, Jim Kidd. And the next row back, Denny Dean. And the last car in the consolation event, number 20, Mike Brown. 12 cars in this consolation event.
The first 8 cars on this race will transfer to the feature event.
The top 8 cars will make it.
The first 8 positions will earn a place in the feature event. And also, folks, keep in mind that the finish of this race determines the way the feature event is lined up.
All right, the flagman's given the white flag. It should be green next time by. Dean Sibla will bring him in. Tabor, Duncan, next row back. Hall and Otto, next row back. Markham and Sage, Vaughn, Kidd, Dean, and Brown. This is a consolation event here at Columbus Motor Speedway, June 5th, 1988. Here we go. 15 laps. Get green. Robbie Dean, Bob Sibla, Steve Tabor, and Hillbilly Duncan, Fred Hall, Ron Otto. Lap number 1 going to Robbie Dean, the Big Bird. Bob Sibla in second. Steve Tabor third. Tabor in third. Duncan fourth. Otto fifth. Hall sixth. Seventh going to stage. Vaughn, Kidd, Dean, and Brown. Ron Otto losing a couple positions. Bobby Sibla on the inside, Dean on the outside. Tabor holding down third in 17. You got Robbie Dean, Bob Sibla. Your battle's back up for third with Tabor and Duncan. Then Hall, Otto, Markham. Halfway this time by, halfway. Consolation event. Bobby Sibla in second. Your battle's back up for third between Tabor, Duncan, Hall, and Otto. Sibla moving down the inside. He might have him on a turn number 2. Goes to turn number 3, but just barely. Robbie Dean loses it. Going across this tough break for Robbie Dean, the Big Bird. Robbie's got to be a little upset. Nobody blames him. He's the Big Bird.
So a rare mistake by the Big Bird. And very often does this gentleman crash the race car.
Robbie Dean going in the pits on his own power. Hey, John, how's that light look? John, how's the color look?
Back underway.
All right, Robbie Dean just took his car into the pits on his own power, but if he don't make it back out here, he might not make last year's championship winner here in the Ohio State Late Model Championship Series, the champion, might not make the first feature. We've been told that's a brand new car this year for Robbie Dean, and he has been having his trouble. It's all right.
I never did hit it. Okay, you're all right.
All right. Getting that oil dry down. Robbie Dean has made it back out onto the track. Couple more laps and we'll be back to green flag racing. Through getting that oil dried out into the track. Look at the lineup strip. Changed right back around and we'll get back to racing. Single file restart. Bobby Sidler will be your leader. Sidler will be your leader. 17, Steve Tabor will be in second. Blackman's got the lineup board down there. 9 laps in, 6 more to go. Robbie Dean has plenty of time to get up there. The lineup looks like right now, Bobby Sidler, 63, Steve Tabor in 17, 9, Fred Hall, 4th will be Ron Otto. Blackman's got to change some cars around here. Look up. It's Mom. Lyman's gonna give him directions here. All right. Now he's got the black flag out. All right, the line looks like it's correct now. 63, Bob Sidler. 17, Steve Tabor. Number 9, Fred Hall. 52, Ron Otto will be 4th. 5th will be Bob Sage at 35. Then 23, Greg Markham. Then Lonnie Vaughn in 03. 4, Jim Kidd. Denny Dean in 12. Mike Brown, 20. 87, John Brown, and Robbie D. We got a green. Nine laps in, 6 more to go. On the bubble right now is number 4, Jim Kidd. Bobby Sidler way out in front again. Steve Tabor in 2nd. Robbie D needs to get by. Jim Kidd to make the feature. 4 laps to go. Bobby Sidler way out in front. Steve Tabor in 2nd. Fred Hall. Dees moves on the outside. Tabor, Hall, Otto. Everybody's going to be out that 8th spot between Jim Kidd. Robbie Dees moved into that 8th spot now. Robbie Sidler takes a white flag. Dean's solid in the field now. He's up to 8. Kidd just spun out. Here comes your winner, Bobby Sidler. Fred Hall, Steve Tabor, Ron Otto, Bob Savage, Sage. Then Greg Markham, Lonnie Vaughn, Robbie Dean.
Bob Sage, 5th. Greg Markham, 6th. Lonnie Vaughn, 7th. And the 8th and final transfer spot goes to Robbie Dean.
Robbie D made it in the feature. Bobby Sidler wins the last chance race here at Columbus Motor Speedway, June 5th, 1988. Got that pen here, honey? I'll put it up here with this, okay? That's all looks great, John. Go fade out? Yeah.
Track in terms of the length of the straightaway and or the tightness of the racetrack, and give us what I'm trying to stress, folks, is that there is a variety of configurations to the racetracks in the series this year, and it's really going to take someone that's able to master all of the different types of circuits in order to do well in the series.
Well, Jeff, really thanks a lot. Our speedway has 2 straightaways. This is the purple here. It's a little closer racing. The short turn, this got the wide turn. This is a little faster track than mine. We have a good fast track, but this is a little faster. It's the same size, 3rd mile, and it's a longer straightaway, 400-foot straightaway. And to get there, if you want to come, you go north on 71, to Route 30, go through Madison and Canton. Just as soon as you cross over 77, go to the 2nd exit. Get off and go south on 43, 1 block and turn left. And we have an and we'll be on the right on that street, right behind the big coal yard. And I sure hope that this crowd comes up there.
Well, thank you very much. Second, we have with us this evening Dick Chrysler with Killcare Speedway that's hosting this series on Wednesday, July the 13th. I would imagine that many of the folks, at least from the Central Ohio area, have visited Killcare Motor Speedway, and maybe we'll ask Dick to describe the shape of his racetrack for us, please.
Yeah, I was afraid he's going to have to shape of that track. Well, it's more like a D, and it's a tricky track, but most of the local drivers here have mastered it. And once you master, we feel that once you master Killcare Speedway, you can run anything. But we'll have our Wednesday night event 1 month from tonight. Hopefully it'll be a little cooler, but we'd certainly like to see all of you over there. I might also add that on the 1st of July, on a Friday night, we're having ARCA in at our track. That's the big boys that run permits for Permatech Series. And we'd certainly like to see you all over there then also. Your quickest way is to go down 71 to 35, turn right, and go through Xenia. You can't miss it. And thanks a lot for coming out tonight.
Thank you, Dick. The next event at the Speedway, or on the series, is scheduled at Sandusky Speedway, and we have Larry Booge with us from Sandusky Speedway. Booge. I always learned that if you wanted a long vowel sound in the middle, you put an E at the end. You know, my kid's in the 1st grade, and he's trying to learn that. He's having a rough time, but it's Booge, right? Here we go. Drag strip with hairpins, right?
That was my line. Yeah, it's a half mile with long straightaways, very tight turns, 90-degree bank turns. And we're in Sandusky, Ohio, also the home of Cedar Point. The leeway claims to be in the home of Sandusky Speedway. It's straight up 71, get off at Mansfield, go up 13 to 250. Make a night of it, go to Cedar Point, come to Sandusky. We run every Saturday night, super modified, sports box and street box at 7:30. We invite you to come on out, and we'd like to thank all the folks here at Columbus for supporting the Unical 76 series.
Thank you. The next event on the series is a new racetrack, as was Canton. This event will be held Wednesday, July the 27th at Barberton Speedway, and with us this evening representing Barberton Speedway is Mr. Jack Franklin.
Thank you very much. I feel that Barberton Speedway has the toughest track of all. It's a quarter-mile, the turns are short, and we have long straightaways. And if they can master Barberton, they can master any of them. It is a tough speedway. So we hope to see all of you there. It's an easy track to get to. 71 to 224 east, off at Barber Road. Take a left-hand turn. The next crossroads, make another left that brings you right around the track. We run promptly at 7:30 every Saturday night, and I hope to see a lot of you there. Thank you very much.
Okay, the 6th race of the series will be held at Shady Bowl Speedway, and Shady Bowl Speedway has undergone new management within the last calendar year, and Mr. Roy Staten, who is in charge of operating Shady Bowl Speedway, is with us this evening. Here you go.
Yes, folks. He's going to put a something in the motor home. It won't be a move. But anybody that's going to town is going to have one of the experiences in life. If you can imagine a dry-out creek, driving up a hill, down a creek, to dry out, back up a hill, and down the creek and rolling in. You call them Shady Bowl. The only thing is, the water makes it better when we got it. We like to have a lot of rain. But we like to move all the folks that come out here tonight. It looks like a rubber job to me. I hope Mr. Knuckles here is just happy to see it as I am. And you guys want to come over that way. The direction from here, I'm not really familiar with from where you're coming from. And it's pretty complicated. But we'll be there, and we'll have the track form, and the assistance and stuff will always be there. If you need the directions or anything, so just call that number and get in touch with Roy. And everybody knows that It is kind of tough to find speedy bolts in Columbus sometimes. I figured it out finally, but it took me a few times. Last but not least, the last race of the series will be held Wednesday night, August the 17th. At basically the racetrack. The person that you're about to hear from is the gentleman that 2 years ago kind of took it on his back and said, hey, why don't you folks get with us and try and run a midweek series to determine a champion in the super late model division in the state of Ohio. And we're real pleased that Chris Salati did this. It worked out well, I think, for everybody involved, and we hope you folks feel that it's been a good deal. Chris is going to talk a little bit about Mid-Vid Speedway right now.
Well, I used to think that Mid-Vid was the toughest track until I went to some of these other racetracks. Now, Mid-Vid's not so tough, I found out. But I just want to take this time to thank all these promoters and all the fans that supported this series the last 3 years. Unical getting involved this year, Boone Tire. Hopefully next year we can draw some bigger sponsors. We can make the races a little better for the drivers, get more drivers, more fans, keep it going. I want to thank everybody involved.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're going to get the race cars lined up here on the front straightaway. We'll run a very brief autograph session, and then we'll get on with our Super League Model 2.
In 18.5. From here in Columbus, Greg Markham. And in the same row with Greg, car 35, Canard Siding, the sponsor, Bobby Sage. Moving to the next row, starting in the 16th position, guy that almost won his first feature event last past Sunday, car 52, Ron Otto Jr. And in 17, Steve Tabor. The next guy from Cincinnati, Ohio, Orangel and Steel Chainsaws, the sponsor. It's Freddie Hall. And starting in 13th position, the winner of the last chance race, Hall Parts Supply, the sponsor, it's Bob Cibula. Next up, your 12th fastest qualifier, car 26, Bill Cantley. And then comes car number 29, Roger Black. Next up, your fast qualifier, we'll move to the front. Car number 1, the driver, Terry Humphrey. And then your next guy, car number 7, Miller High Life, the sponsor, Rich Roar. Row number 2 on the inside, Edwards Motors and Rush Enterprises, the driver, Bobby Edwards. And outside of him is car number 41, Pit Stop Car Wash, the sponsor, from Akron, Scott Baker. Then comes car number 5, starting in the 5th position, the Paul Storroad Thunderbird, Mike Stacy. Alongside in car 33, from Columbus, Wes Wilson. The next guy from Doylestown, Ohio, the McCall's Auto Special, the Iceman, Tim Ice. Then comes car 21, a guy who's been almost invincible here in 1988 here at the Speedway. 6 feature wins today. Stinger Ford Truck Center, the sponsor, John Fallow. The next two guys, the only ones to defeat at Yellow 21 this year. This driver did it about 4 weeks ago. From Dayton, Ohio, Bussy Blackford. And last but not least, the feature winner on Sunday night and the fast timer tonight, almost a new track record from New Carlisle, Ohio,
Dick Dunleavy. $20 cars. They'll be racing 76 laps.
The only driver we didn't get introduced there before the cameras came on was Robbie Dean. He's starting 20th.